Well, we got our frame pack, and not just our frame pack, we got our trusses. How about that? Well, today is framing day. It's going to be an exciting day, seeing walls stand up. We came out last night when it was cooler because the days are starting to get hot, and went ahead and measured and cut all of our bottom plates. The pressure treated bottom plate, it's going to be the bottom of the wall. Started cutting the top plates. Got 3 of the 4 walls done. We didn't do the balloon frame in here because that one's going to have to be built specifically to the truss. It's a taller wall. The rest of these are just pre-cut 9-foot studs, so they'll be 9-foot tall walls. Excuse me. So we got all those cut. The boys started drilling out for the anchor bolts on all of these. You can see down here, and that'll be mounted down to the slab with a 2-inch washer and a 1/2-inch nut. So it's going to be an exciting day. Let's get going. Now we'll want to check these just to make sure they're straight. That one's good. That one, not so good. So the crooked ones, just throw off to the side, and we'll use those for blocking and stuff. A lot of these top ones are going to be crooked. That one's good. And if they're like this, it's fine. You just don't want them on the long twist. So that one's good. All right, so we're gonna move it over enough where it's not in the way of anything. Oh, you know what? I think we're gonna build this different than we normally used to. Normally we build it like this because I forgot top and bottom plates are not gonna match because of windows and doors, because we can't have splices over the door and window. So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and seal these and bolt those down, and then we'll do the wall and stand it up onto it. Okay. So this here's a foam gasket that gets stapled to the bottom plate, and it basically prevents air, bugs, anything like that from coming in between the wood and the concrete. Sometimes there's a little bit of a gap. So this corner, they require a pack of 3 studs. So we're going to do these walls in sections to make it manageable. I'm not going to build the headers and put in here just yet and then try to stand that up. Over years of watching framers do their work, I've learned tips and tricks on things to make it easier, and that's one of them. So we'll stand the wall up, then later we'll come back once all the walls are up and braced. Then we can build the headers, hold them up there, nail them up, put the jacks underneath them, and be good to go. So these are all 9-foot pre-cut studs, putting them on 16-inch centers, and whatever the plans call for as far as king studs and jack studs for around the windows and doors, it's calling for a triple stud pack on each corner. So that's what we're doing. So you can see this is the header schedule here. A double 2x12 for a 3 to 4 foot span, which that's the only size openings that we have here. Requires 2 jacks, 2 full studs. And when you look over here, this is the corner detail. Of course, your top plate laps over onto the other wall. But this is tells 16 inches on center, 1/2 inch sheathing. The corner, well, this is all thread triple corner studs. So all thread we're doing on all of the corners and all of the door openings, all the way up to the top plate and bolts down. That's for hurricane codes. We have to build to 130 mile per hour hurricane codes here. One thing I forgot to mention, before we started yesterday cutting bottom plates, we actually come and measured 4 inches in and marked the line, and we snapped lines all the way down around the whole perimeter, 4 inches. Because the 2x4 width is 3.5, and then with the 1/2 inch sheathing, you want that to be flush with the outside, so that way the siding can go down and cover that joint, and you don't have anything up underneath. So we've snapped lines, marked where all the door and window openings are going to be, and then that makes it easy too when we're measuring out and marking our top and bottom plates, that everything matches up, and we can frame windows as we go and don't have to come back and like knock studs out and all that good stuff. So all of our lines are snapped all the way around, even inside. We've got all of our openings marked, so we can just follow these lines. Saves using a tape measure multiple times. Everything's basically, our plans are transferred onto the slab. First wall going up. Second, let me get repositioned here. Okay. All right, y'all got it?
Yep.
Okay, now, let me get...
Someone's on the trap, knock it.
Nope. I'm gonna do this right here. Need probably some more air. Grab one of these crooked studs. Okay. Now,
Can we get a level?
grab our level.
I don't know if you saw this.
Ready? Okay, you got it?
Yep.
I'll get them in the right spot. Just hold your wall so it don't fall. I'm not confident. One, two, three. Oh, that wasn't together. Jonathan, come down here. Christian, let me have your corner. Okay, grab the middle. We should have had this a little closer to where it needed to be. You got that, Christian? Okay, watch your digits. Good? Okay, you got it for a second?
I do.
Lean it in toward you a little bit. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's 3 of our 4 walls right there. That just leaves this balloon frame wall here on this end. That went really good. Got everything braced up from the inside, leveled up, all straight and plumb, and secured for wind and that sort of thing. Now it is lunchtime and it is really hot out here, so I think we're going to stop for right now. We'll come back and when it gets a little bit cooler and work on it some more. This video is probably going to be spread out over the next few days with the evenings and such. Trying to work on it when it's a little cooler. Today was just a good day to jump on it and get started and get a lot done. So I'm happy with what we got so far. All right, we're just going to take the 2x4, put it on here. I don't care if it's recessed a little. I just don't want it sticking out. And we'll nail this other side. Flip him over and do the same thing. Birds sound pretty. And that is one header built. Now to make this a little easier, I'm going to go ahead and put a jack on each side. And then I've got something to sit my header on. Okay. What are the chances this bad boy will just slide right in? 0. Oh, okay, slim. Nice. Beautiful, man. Now the doors are not going to be that tall. They're 6'8" doors. They're standard. So this opening here with the outswing door needs to be 81 inches tall. The front door is an in-swing door. That will need to be 82.5 inches, the opening. So when we built our house, I put my headers down at 81, 82.5 inches, respectively, wherever they needed to go. And I did that for all the windows and everything, because my thought was for over the windows, that gives me blocking for curtain rods, that sort of thing. Most people that are framers do it this way, and I'm doing it this way on this house, and I'll tell you why. Should I ever want to change this from an outswing to an in-swing or vice versa, that opening size changes. Now you're tearing out header instead of tearing out the filler wood. Windows. If I ever wanted to make those windows taller or whatever, you tear out the filler wood, the header stays, all that structural. You don't have to mess with any of that. So that's why we're doing it this way. Well, we've pretty much got all the headers up on the built walls. Next thing I want to do is get this end wall, the balloon framed wall, up. The kids have been working on it, so I had to figure out the dimensions, because you know it's going to be sort of like an A-frame. It's got a gable pit. It's a pitched roof to match the bottom of the trusses, and that's got to be, that's critically that it's right. So what I did was over here on the trusses, I took a string and ran it along the bottom cord where it's going to sit on the wall. So this is the truss. It's going to sit on the wall right here on that outside wall. So I ran a string down to the other side over here. Same thing, where it's going to sit on the wall here. Ran it nice and tight, and then measured from the string to the peak, and I added that to my stud length on the that's going to be on the outside. And that's where I was able to then measure the distance here, figure out how long it was going to be, and build the wall to match it. Point it at me. It's just like a real gun. Never point it at somebody you don't want to shoot. Right there. Perfect. I'm gonna hand this down. Hand up my level if you would, please, and I'll double check this just to make sure we're good up top. Should be. Should be. Oh man, now that bad boy off, it's perfect. Now this is gonna get another yellow pine top plate up here. All the way around has to have double top plates. However, I'm not putting that on just yet. It's not a load bearing wall. The trusses are sitting on the front and the back, so I am waiting to put that on. Now I did build it a 1/2 inch short in theory. So I should be able to get the top plate on there without any problem. However, looking at the corners, it's already up higher than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to hold off on doing that until the trusses are up. And then once the trusses are up, then I'll go back and add that second top plate before I do the OSB up here. The boys are working on the anchor bolts now. These are required within so many inches of a splice, so many inches of a corner, so many inches of a window. I think it depends on who the architect is. Some are 8 inches, some are 10 inches. These are all within 8 inches here. Windows, doors, and then they're 4 foot on center in between. So we have to build to the 130 mile per hour hurricane codes here, and these bad boys are solid when they're done. Now all the corners, windows, and doors, I might have already said this, I don't remember. They'll actually get a threaded rod from that connects there and goes all the way up to this top plate once the double is on, and it gets another washer and bolt on the top, and that holds everything on the walls down secure to the slab. So we're making the top of the door and the top of the windows all the same height. So these are 8 inch blocks. We got 9 foot pre-cut studs with the header. These are going to be 8 inch blocks. That'll get us to our 82.5 inches. Now, Thanks. Starting to take shape. Got all the front done, and the back he's got ready for me. I'm working on this one here now. So I'm actually doing two things at once. I'm filling this in. This is going to be a transom window above the master bed, and I've got to fill the studs in, which he's got most of them cut now for me. While he's doing that, I put this header together and put it in, and was working on this door, and the door's done. So kind of bouncing around a little bit, but trying to keep something moving while the boys are cutting lumber for me and stuff. So this window here is going to be just like this one. I just got to frame it down with the 8-inch blocks, fill in underneath it, and then this whole side's done. I get this one finished, I'll bounce over to this one, and it's the same thing. It's 3 foot, but it'll be the same height, 8-inch blocks, and these will be a little bit longer underneath here. And then that just leaves these 2 windows right here on this end, and that'll be all of the doors and windows framed in. I'm excited, man. It's a process, but I feel like it's moving along pretty good. So it's a new day. Christian is working on the hurricane straps. We've got most of the top plate done, so he's working on the hurricane straps over the headers on the outside. Jonathan is working over here finishing up. He just got a measurement to cut that top plate there. All of the top plate is done except for this end wall here, which it does not have to be done yet before the truss goes up. These do. So we're going to get those all nailed off on the outside. I already just put my first starter sheet of OSB windstorm on this corner here, and we're going to go ahead and James and I are going to try to get some of this done. Now my skill saw is broke down at the moment to be able to cut this out, so we might end up just putting it up and come back and cut it out with a Sawzall in a little while, just so we can keep moving, because I really need to get the OSB on these 3 walls. Actually, probably need to get some over here on this wall as well, just for strength, so that this thing don't collapse when we put the trusses on. So that's the plan for today. So last night it got dark on us. We didn't get finished with the OSB on the back. So we are going to finish that today. Probably going to put a few pieces on this end. I am going to leave this big opening here just in case we need to take the trusses in that direction, because we're going to hand set. And if they don't fit in the front door, we'll be able to come around in here to get them inside, to get them up onto the walls. But right now, our main focus is getting these posts mounted for the front porch, and getting the beams set so that way we can mount the set the trusses tomorrow and have something to sit them on. So we've got everything measured out where the posts are going to go for the anchor bolts, and got a chalk line stretched down and through here just so we keep them straight. And we're fixing to put the old Milwaukee 12 volt to the test and see if it can run a 5/8 drill bit. Battery's about dead. Let's see what we got. Oh, we close. Another inch or so. That's dead battery. That should do it, boys. That's pretty impressive. I don't care what you say. 12 volts. It's not even an 18 volt. Loosen it a little bit. Make sure I'm getting the right spot here. One down. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna hold this, grab your drill, go up on the ladder. I'm gonna tell you when, and you screw that screw in up there. right there. Okay. When we built our house, let's see, we've been in our house for just over 6 years now. When we built our house, I didn't know much at all about building. We got a book, a builder's, like a beginner's guide to building and remodeling or something like that. I can put a link down in the video description if you're interested. Very, very good book I got from Home Depot and YouTube. And we learned how to build our house and asking lots of questions of the inspectors and stuff when they would come. Since then, I've been in construction ever since then, and worked my way up, and now I'm a project superintendent. So I'm able to see how everybody does what they do. And a lot of these framers that are professionals and been doing it for longer than I've been alive, I've picked up tips and tricks. And tip and trick number one, I would say, if you're building anything, brace it up as you go. It makes life so easy. Whenever we built our house, I framed all the walls up, and then whenever I went to put the OSB up, I had to try to rack the walls and push on them to get them to where they were plumb and level to get the OSB straight, and it was a nightmare. Like this right here. These are all temporary braces on these posts out front, but we plumb them up level, and then it's good to go. And then I can get up there, work on it, put the beams up across with the brackets. Same with inside. When it came time to do OSB, we could just start OSB because all the walls were plumb and level. As you stand them up, you brace them off, nail it off to where everything is structurally sound, solid, and ain't gonna move. Your life will be so much easier, and it speeds things up a lot. It also makes it stronger, so when we go to put the trusses up, this is solid, it's not moving with all of these braces we have. And then once we get the trusses up, get the decking on the roof, all these can come out because it'll be strong and solid with the roof, but everything's nice and straight. Now that we got all these posts set, we are starting on the beam buckets, which are these guys here. So this is an HUC 210.2, I think it is. It's made for two 2x12s to sit in here, and those are going to come out to these posts. And so what I did, I don't have any fancy leveling equipment. I just took a 2x4 with my long level, ran it from the top plate out here, level, marked my line. This is where my post is going to get cut off, and then measured down for the width of a 2x12. Actually added 1/8 of an inch, so if it's low, I can add a shim underneath there. But if it's high, you're out of luck. So I left them down just about an eighth of an inch. So instead of 11 1/4, I'm doing like 11 3/8. So we're gonna get these bad boys put over. So I measure over the width, which is like 3 1/8. The two together should be 3, but that gives you an 1/8 inch play to be able to get them in. I'm making sure that this is lined up, pushed over, and I'm nailing those bad boys off. And this is what our 2x12 beams are going to sit in, all the way down. My brother loaned me his nail gun. Shoots these stubby hurricane clip nails. This thing's sweet. Usually I'm hand nailing these things, smashing my fingers. We got them all on. I really hope I got those in the right spot. We're going to cut these posts off with the chainsaw now, which should be a lot of fun. Because it's windy out. So I'm going to try to stay upwind so the sawdust don't blow all in my face. But we got to zing those off just above these brackets. We'll be ready to set 2x12s. That'll be all right. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big boy. Woo! Well, we're ready for trusses. I didn't think I was going to get this done today, and that went really, really good. So, when we built our house, I was always trying to figure out how to measure across there to get the exact measurement of that 2x12, and it took me forever to get it right and trying to hold the tape measure and all that. Tip and trick number 2: your post distance at the bottom is supposed to be the same as it is up top. If not, you got problems. So when you get your posts all leveled up, just measure between the bottom. That'll give you your measurement for up top. So we just measured everything from the ground right down here at the base, cut them, put them up there, they fit perfect. So I'm excited, man. We're Christian's gonna nail put a few nails up here just to hold these together till tomorrow. Then I'll have the boys get up there and nail those off. Gives them something to do. But I'm gonna hop up top right now and just measure and mark where the trusses are gonna be. That way we're ready to go for in the morning. But that's gonna be for another video. So hope you guys are enjoying this. Greatly appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Whoa! Time to go.